Do you think Kansans might be getting frustrated watching their money drift to neighboring states like Missouri, Colorado, and Oklahoma? Since legalizing marijuana, these states have brought in hundreds of millions in tax revenue. Missouri alone saw $1.5 billion in sales in 2024. Meanwhile, Kansas misses out on new jobs and vital funding for schools and infrastructure because its leaders remain firm in their outdated stance. Consider this. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation had to take action just this past October 2025. They raided over 15 smoke shops and CBD stores across 10 cities. Tons of THC vapes, pre-rolled joints, and flowers were seized in 1 week. Imagine the public demand for access when 73% of Kansans support medical marijuana and 61% back recreational use. Yet, Kansas law allows the state to keep up to 80% of assets seized in these raids. Often, products, cash, and even weapons are confiscated without charges being filed. This practice turns law enforcement into profiteering pirates. Is it fair that Kansas money supports Missouri's coffers while our state forgoes economic growth and ignores its voters' wishes? The issue isn't just about marijuana. It's about the direction Kansas chooses to take and the opportunities it either embraces or continues to resist. If we continue on this path, how will it impact not just our economy, but our society as a whole? Oh, so you're saying Kansans are really tired of seeing their money flow to other states, to counties where governors are all too happy to accept it. You're saying there's so much product out there, it's undeniable that the public wants marijuana legalized. The Kansas Bureau of Narcotics, then, is entirely okay with robbing citizens, becoming pirates against those they're sworn to protect? Is Kansas really saying its money should support other states' kids and veterans instead of its own? And law enforcement and government have no issue invading legitimate enterprises, while businesses like Spangles can sell alcohol through drive-thrus? Is that preferred, having kids turn to alcohol, meth, and fentanyl? From this, it seems Kansas doesn't care for its people. Are we turning the public against the police over a harmless plant? Is Kansas signaling it doesn't want any tax revenue, urging everyone to leave? Has the police force really become a mafia-like entity? Are they saying confiscated goods will be destroyed but still pocketed by officers? Do officers pocket money from registers in people's pockets during arrests? Is Kansas intentionally causing upheaval, choosing regression over progress, missing financial opportunities like with alcohol? Are we imprisoning and robbing those wanting to start legitimate businesses? If not, then what exactly are you saying? Last week, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation and Attorney General Kobach hailed a major enforcement operation. They seized products and cash from CBD shops, claiming they were protecting our children from poisons. But what poison are we really discussing here? The true danger to public health are the synthetic cannabinoids like spice and K2, notorious for their deadly side effects and lack of safety standards. These compounds are the real threat, sending people to emergency rooms. Had law enforcement zeroed in on these synthetic hazards, public applause would have followed. Instead, they chose to target natural cannabis derivatives, similar to products legally sold in surrounding states. Natural flower and vapes in demand for recreation and wellness were unjustly seized. By raiding businesses and confiscating products, Kansas isn't eliminating drugs. It's cutting off its potential revenue streams and stirring public distrust. These raids convey hostility rather than protection. What Kansas needs is decriminalization and regulation driven by public input. Let us stop wasting resources on penalization and focus on building a thriving, regulated market that reflects the people's will, respects their liberties, and benefits the state through responsible taxation. Shame in the smokescreen, the real message of the KBI raids. The hypocrisy of selective enforcement. I want to now speak directly to the KBI and the law enforcement officials who orchestrated last week's theatrical raids. You claim to be sending a message about the rule of law and protecting our children, but the only message you have sent is one of blatant hypocrisy and selective enforcement. You busted vape shops and arrested hardworking Kansans for selling a plant derivative, yet in this very state, You allow alcohol to be sold through drive-thru windows, a convenience invented to encourage consumption behind the wheel. You allow stores to legally sell 180 proof Everclear, a 90% alcohol product so dangerous it is banned in over a dozen states. You raid a small business for a 5 milligram edible, but you allow a consumer to drive away with a bottle of pure ethyl alcohol, a substance responsible for far more violence, far more emergency room visits, and far more deaths than cannabis has ever been. Your priorities are not about safety, they are about control, and the people see the double standard. Second, the blunder of the busted message. We have heard the reports that local authorities were asked which 2 vape shops they wanted made an example of. This wasn't a comprehensive sweep of crime. It was a targeted political hit. It was an arrested statement designed to intimidate. But the KBI's message has utterly failed. Director Mativi, Attorney General Kobach, you thought you were sending a message about prohibition. Instead, Kansas has sent you a message back. What did those raids truly reveal? They revealed 5,494 ounces of high-quality product and tens of thousands of vapes and edibles. They didn't show a marginal demand. They exposed a massive, existing, multi-million-dollar consumer market that is ready for regulation and taxation. The seized inventory is not evidence of a successful bust. It is proof of a successful, albeit illegal, industry. You tried to send a message of control. You received a message of overwhelming public demand for a legal market. 3. The incarceration of anxiety and the cost of control. Your justification for these raids rests on a moralizing, out-of-date notion that a euphoric feeling is a threat to society. You prioritize punishing a citizen for finding a moment of calm, a smoke for their anxiety, a relief for their pain, over regulating a product that is demonstrably safer than the alcohol you champion. And for what? To maintain an expensive, failed system of prohibition that is nothing but a vehicle for control. You have spent our tax dollars and wasted law enforcement hours making 4,645 arrests for marijuana possession in a single year. Arrests that disproportionately target communities of color, create criminal records, and destroy lives. This is not justice. It is control through incarceration. And what is the net result? Every Kansan knows that in less than 2 to 3 hours in any direction, to Missouri, to Colorado, to Oklahoma, they can receive a professional Apple Store customer service experience for their product. They can shop in a safe, tested, and regulated environment. The irony is that the dealers you incarcerate in Kansas, the hard-working small business owners you just raided, were providing that same quality service. And they did it because the government refused to step up. I say to the KBI and Kansas lawmakers, stop humiliating this state, stop shaming the consumer, stop destroying the small businesses and tax revenue that could be rebuilding our schools and roads. The people have voted with their wallets. The message is clear. End the arrests, end the hypocrisy, and start the process of public-driven legalization now.